Hi everyone! So I've been studying for my British literature midterm, and I've kind of been realizing how weird a lot of the stuff we've been reading is. So I just wanted to share some of this weirdness with you while watching Days of Our Lives, of course. So the first thing that we read this semester was Beowulf, and that really wasn't any weirder than I was expecting it to be, honestly. Not to say that it wasn't weird. It just wasn't especially weird. The second thing that we read was Sir Gawain and the Green Knight. And basically it starts out that Arthur's court is just kind of sitting around, and this knight comes barging in. And it goes through this whole long description about how he's like so ornately dressed, and he's very intimidating. And then at the end of the description, it's like, oh yeah, and also this guy is completely green. So there's that. But I guess they just kind of accept it, and Gawain chops his head off with the axe. So now you're going to have to come find me a year later so I can strike you down too. And he just kind of picks up his head and leaves. And the moral of the story ends up being something along the lines of women are evil temptresses, which really was not what I was expecting from the story. Stupid Rafe. Anyway, then the most recent thing that we've read, we've been reading parts of Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. Fun fact for the day, Chaucer was accused of rape at one point, which I didn't know. So yeah, you think that you want to meet all these authors, but maybe you don't. So we read the general prologue, which is pretty much just all these people are traveling to Canterbury, and they stop at an inn, and the innkeeper's like, hey, so to keep yourselves occupied while you're traveling, you should all tell stories. And then once you've made it there and on your way back, decide who told the best story, and stop here, and everyone else will buy that person dinner. So it seems normal enough. Then we start reading The Miller's Tale. And first of all, I have to show you what we're working with. Let me find my book. Okay, so this is the first untranslated thing that we've read. So the text itself is hard enough to decipher. If you can. So that alone is enough to be confusing. And then the story itself. So basically, Allison and Nicholas decide that they want to sleep together. But Allison is married to John, and so Nicholas decides that, well, they're just going to trick John. And so they make John believe that Noah's flood is coming, like a second time. And so John ends up like sleeping in like a metal tub that they've tied to the ceiling, while Nicholas and Allison sneak off to go sleep together. Then there's this third guy, Absalom, who is also trying to woo Allison. Absalom is like, hey, come kiss me. And she's like, well, all right, but really fast so the neighbors don't see. So Absalom comes to kiss her, and Allison tricks him, and he ends up literally kissing her ass. And then he figures out what's happened, which, like, I wouldn't think that would be very hard to figure out. But he figures out what's happened and decides that he's going to get revenge on Allison. So he comes back with, like, this fiery, hot poker thingy, and does the same thing. This time Nicholas decides that he wants in on the joke too. So Nicholas ends up getting scalded with the hot poker thingy, and he yells water, and that wakes John up, and so he cuts down the tub that he's in and falls to the ground because obviously there is not water, and breaks his arm, and everyone just kind of thinks he's crazy after that. And Allison just kind of gets away with everything. So I was reviewing this, and I kind of thought, like, what exactly are they trying to teach us? Like, what do they expect us to take away from all this? And I'm really not quite sure.